Okay, this man is closing in. Well, he's not closing in. He's past it. My notes were already out of date. 10,000 first-class runs at a tick below 40 apiece. Well, let's just call it 40. He's much coveted in T20 legs. He has 36 centuries in professional cricket and already given us plenty of memories in Australia, most lately in the BBL, which we'll talk about in this interview, among many other things. James Vince, welcome to The Grade Cricketer.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
James, it's 8:15 a.m. when we go to air. You've just woken up. It's a little bit later here as well, but let's just crack right into it. I mean, what is your relationship to club cricket?
Club cricket over here?
Yeah, I guess so.
I've not played for a little while, actually. Probably the last time I played club cricket would have been grade cricket in Perth, I reckon, about 12 years ago, 13 years ago maybe. Yeah, I miss the villageness of it, I guess. Some of the stuff over here, the beer at lunch. Looking forward to getting back into that sort of setup in a few years' time when I'm done.
How does Perth grade cricket go for you guys? Because we spoke to Ian Bell a couple of weeks ago. He played grade cricket there. Dom Sibley has played some grade cricket over there. I mean, what were your experiences over in Perth playing grade cricket?
To be honest, my memory's bad, so I can't actually remember it too well. But I was, I think, 16 when I first went over, and it sounded like a great idea. Go to Perth, play a bit of cricket on the weekend, train in the week. And when I got there, I realised I was playing, I think, under 17s in the morning and then going and play third grade cricket in the afternoon. So it was like a 6 a.m. start and then finish in the third or fourth grade, whatever it was at the start, at 7 or 8 p.m. So I kind of regretted it when I got there a bit. But the Hampshire coach at the time, Paul Terry, was in Perth and, I thought it'd be a good idea. So I didn't say much, and then scored a few runs and got put in the second grade or first grade, which meant I didn't have to play in the morning because it actually started earlier. So it was an interesting start. Also off the pitch, sort of, I was 16, so I started to find out a few things and enjoy myself. And it was a pretty good trip in the end.
Like Aussies and you would get this all the time, like Aussies love to feel like English people coming over here to play grade cricket get this great culture shock, of getting over the desert into the hot sun among, big burly men. Yeah. Is it just not like that at all, and we're all just sort of cucks and not that good?
Well, I think the impression I got was everyone sort of thought grade cricket is the same standard as county cricket over here. And your state cricket's kind of like, I don't know, a new sort of bracket in between international cricket and
that's right,
and grade cricket.
Yeah,
so that was interesting. But to be fair, I can see there are some people playing county cricket that wouldn't do that well in Australia, but it's just it's conditions based and stuff. But no, it was entertaining. I was shocked as well, turning up and realised that you had to bring your own lunch or go somewhere and buy some lunch. So, I enjoyed it. It was
it sounds
like a great time, yeah. I love that there's a club out there in Perth. They're like, fuck, we picked James Vince in third grade.
Yeah. Start him in threes. Are you, I believe anyway, you were in the Reading Football Academy. So you must have just been absolutely just loving those warm-ups before a game, just playing a bit of soccer, just dominating one-touch football. Were you taking that more seriously than the games?
Yeah, I've always taken the football warm-up more seriously than the cricket, to be honest. We're not playing it at the minute because we've had a few guys with chocolate knees go over or break some ankles and stuff. So I've always insisted the guys that get injured would be getting injured anyway. But no, we've one too many injuries on the football front. So for now, we're not playing. But yeah, even a few winters ago, I managed to play some five-a-side and stuff. I still probably enjoy playing football more than cricket.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
That's the thing.
Yeah, there's a similar thing in Australia where, we're not from one of these states, but cricket's basically the second option for sport for guys who are in the national side. They all want to be Aussie rules players. Like, where would you rank in terms of the football skill of current England cricketers here in the Reading Academy? Like, I mean, would you have Bilbo covered, kind of thing? Like, are you up the top? Are you the best footballer of England cricketers? Is what I'm asking.
I can say I'm better than Bilbo, but he's one of those players. Looks sort of very good, you know, likes to put a few tricks in there, but his end product is hopeless. So he's, you know, I mean, used to play 3-touch, and he'd have 2 touches without even looking up. So he'd be buggered by his 3rd touch. So good mover and like look very good, but you know, in terms of getting the job done, not great. So definitely better than him. I don't know. I don't want to say whether I think I'm the best or not, but
that's an answer.
That's an answer. Enough said. Enough said. Jay, we can keep focusing on the cricket that you've played in Australia, James. And I'll just go straight to the final of the Big Bash this year. You hit 95 off 60 rocks, man of the match. I don't really care about that. It's what happens afterwards. And, you know, Dan Christian just taking charge of the circuit there, getting the boys to go straight into the Harbour Bridge. You're in full magenta kit. There's a photo on his story. You're having a nice Merlot, I think, when the sun's coming up. I mean, can you talk us through the celebrations?
And also the boys said that they were disappointed you didn't hang around. So just reply to that as well.
Yeah.
I can talk you through the first part. I don't remember too much being down by the bridge until pictures emerged. But yeah, we finished up. We do not fines, but you know, sort of a mini fines where we sing a few songs and stuff, which I try and have an input on with my football chants with a few new words. That's sort of not that we needed getting revved up that night, but you know, get a few quick beers down, you always, you know, gets the spirit and gets the mood up. So I think we were in the dressing room and then a couple on the outfield. Back to the hotel. We were still meant to be in sort of COVID restrictions because a few guys might have been flying to New Zealand, I think, who were staying in the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
So we were back in the team room. I think the replay of the game was actually on, and then it starts getting fairly blurry at this point. But he was keen to get down to the bridge for a few photos of the sun coming up. So, you know, I think 6 or 7 of us followed him down there with any drink that we could find left over.
Yeah,
down there for a little while, and then the sun was up. I think we tried to find somewhere with breakfast that would serve alcohol.
Yeah,
and we were struggling. So I think Carlos Brathwaite had a bottle of whiskey actually.
Yeah.
So we went and got some breakfast, took his whiskey, and just put a little bit in the coffee just to keep us going. And then eventually called stumps, I think around, I don't know, 7 or 8
Wednesday
in the morning. Quick kip, and then a couple of hours, packed my bags, and then met the guys at where was it? Clovelly Hotel, I think it was.
Yeah, beautiful spot.
Yeah, lovely spot for a few hours before heading to the airport. So I was would have been great to stay another day. So I, you know, do hold my hand up there after winning something. Should have probably, you know, tried to hang on another 24 hours, but the missus and the kids are at home, so you know, 2.5, 3 months away. Another 24 hours on the piss probably wouldn't have gone down too well.
Love this. You seem to have decent success over here, James. Like you play the bouncy pitches really well. And one of those times was in the game before the final, the BBL semi. You're 99 not out, great knock, 1 to win. AJ Ty bowls are wide. I know you've had questions about it, but then he apologised, I noticed. So I just guess my question was like, are you happy to see Australia's culture review like so obviously bearing fruit that he apologised?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, clearly didn't mean it. He looked absolutely gutted when he was apologising, didn't he? So, he's probably still keeping him up at night now, I would have thought. But no, it was. To be honest, I'm not normally fussed about stuff like that. I'm and a couple of minutes after I wasn't. But it was only the crowd started getting quite loud when Hughesy was blocking a few. So I then walked down and said, actually, maybe don't try and hit a run just so I can have a crack at it. So I went from not caring and telling him to, just get the job done to no, actually I quite fancy this, and then see one balloon over my head like that. It was a bit annoying at the time.
It just gets a bit dewy.
A bit dewy, the SCG, especially at night.
No one means to do that.
That's right. Hey, at least you apologise. I wonder what your recollections, James, of the 2017 Ashes are at here, because you started that so well. You scored 83 at the Gabba, then 55 at Adelaide after that.
Wacker.
At the Wacker. But then like that sort of is, I suppose, a little bit memorable for like stuff off the field for the England camp, like the Bairstow headbutt thing or whatever. Then Duckett pouring a beer over Anderson, whatever. Like what are your like memories of what's your sort of main takeaway from the 2017 Ashes?
You summed it up pretty well there. They were kind of they were almost the highlights. We got absolutely pumped. It was good but bad. I mean, it's to play in an Ashes series is pretty cool, but to be beaten as badly as we were isn't so cool. So
sure.
A few moments in there. The start obviously was a pretty good day because we hadn't lost the test at that stage and it was day one. So there was still belief and everything that we didn't know what was going to happen, but it's long. And once the series is gone at, where was it, Perth, then the last two games, it's not hard. Well, it's a bit hard. People sort of, you still got something to play for. You're playing for England in an Ashes series, but I don't know, I always find it tough when you're out of the series, although you are representing your country. I'm not saying it's, you didn't give a balls what happened, but just becomes sort of longer and longer. And when you can't win the series, it did become tough the last few games, but it was a long trip as well. But that was good, but obviously results dictate kind of the overall feeling.
Sure.
Well, it was hard for the England guys to put big innings together over there as well. Was it Johnny was the only one who scored 100? Weren't many big scores. I can only imagine it's because it probably got harder to bat as the day went on. It's just was the old ball hard to face? Was it just doing a lot more than you used to doing? You know what I mean? Just a bit,
just through the air a bit,
as it went on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. There must have been a weird batch of Kookaburra balls there. I know with the Dukes here they can vary a bit. So, what really interesting was at Perth when it was actually pretty wet and there was a wet patch on the wicket, but that ball just seemed to be, I don't know, just going around corners. Good skill to get it going like that, especially in wet conditions. So fair play to them.
Just got to get your wrist behind the ball. That's the main skill of it.
Out here,
out here especially. That's how you do it. Hey, in the 2019 World Cup, I'd imagine would that be a career highlight being part of that squad? 2019 World Cup at home.
Sorry, get your wrist behind it. Got me there. That was a good 6 weeks or whatever it was.
I know you played like 3 games in that tournament, and you sort of drafted in late, but like that wouldn't stop you from surely just massive celebrations afterwards. Are you getting around the boys? Are you wearing full kit in the Lord's sheds there and high vis, getting drinks with the boys? Like what's your role in that circuit?
Yeah, pretty much that. We were back at the hotel with friends and family at probably around, I don't know, 2:00 maybe. We were in the dressing room for a while. So
nice,
the next morning, I think I saw a picture of myself. We had to go to the Oval and there's a load of kids and stuff in the outfield and, Morgs and the guys were carrying the trophy around and stuff. And there was a picture and my face was virtually green, like that emoji you get on your phone. I didn't pull up well at all, so that was a tough morning. And then managed to find a bit more juice in the afternoon. Had a few more, and I think went to the Prime Minister's house that evening, which was quite entertaining because everyone was sort of drunk again, and it's just quite. I think Theresa May actually went like the following day or two, so whether that had an impact on it, I'm not sure. But it was pretty special night, a couple of days. Like I say, I didn't really play a huge role in it, but not much of a role at all, to be honest. But it was pretty cool being sort of, within the group.
Yeah, for sure.
The good news for you, James, is like, as we go to air, this might air a couple of days after you're about to play against Leicestershire. You've scored 412 runs in county cricket at 45 this summer for Hampshire. You've hit a double ton and 250s to your name. So the bad news is that means you must now respond to questions about a national recall that you can't possibly answer and don't really have any control over. So what's that like?
What's what like? So
just getting questions about how you get back into the side of selectors when you literally can't do anything about that.
Yeah, I think everyone's name tends to come up, doesn't it? It literally takes one score and then your name's back in the fold. Well, with a few people anyway. I don't know if I'm overly close. So I think I might be one of the reserves for this series coming up, but then there's a number of players missing. So I'm pretty relaxed about it. In the past, I used to think about it a fair bit and, really strive for it and probably overthink it and all that sort of stuff. So enjoyed my cricket the last few years. I think, particularly the opportunities I've had in the winter to be at the Sixers for a few years and to go back to the same club is something, pretty cool and good group of guys, great franchise. So it's, I'm kind of happy if I can keep doing that for a few more years and playing my stuff at Hampshire. And then if something with England comes up, then great. But I'm not going to really, worry about it too much.
Just in researching you and selection and stuff, like I saw a quote come up about your experience. The last time you got dropped with Ed Smith, you said it was literally the night of the Somerset game. I finished on 200 something not out. Ed just phoned me and said I needed to make more big scores in red ball cricket. Sorry. And you said, I don't feel like the timing was great for me. But like the serious question is like, it must be so frustrating to know that like sometimes it seems so often about something different to runs, like getting selected. It's like, it's how you look doing it or what it's not just, if I do X and score runs, I will get in the side. It's like, nah, you've got the runs, but it's not this kind of runs or whatever. Like, obviously you've kind of answered it by saying you just try not to worry about it anymore, but do you have any sense of what selectors want or women?
No, I don't think Ed really knew, to be honest. I think he maybe had an idea before and was maybe watching the scorecard thinking, oh, geez, please get out so this conversation's a bit easier. He's not in the role anymore, so we'll have to see if that changes anything. But I think it was actually after that Ashes series we went to New Zealand. I didn't play the first test and then got some runs in the second one and then came back, and was actually quite upbeat about the chances of being selected. So, which I'm normally more on the pessimistic side. So, that one I didn't quite understand, but like you say, never quite sure what's going on behind the scenes. So now that there's a different system, we see if a few more runs I might get my way back in there. But like I say, I'll just see if that happens rather than stress too much over it.
And now Ed Smith's the head of selectors at Hampshire, which is good news.
I've not heard. But, well, maybe not.
no, maybe not.
Well, it's just finally, James, just to kind of get it out of the way, your cover drive is a sensual delight. It's a double-edged sword because it's a stylist curse, everything looks easy.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say I think you look really good, and Australia appreciates that. No question attached to it. Nothing about getting out. I just want to comment that you look great, and thanks for making life better when you hit balls. Thoughts?
Well, lovely. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Can't really add much to that.
James Vince, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.